Shalom Akim, this is Yabatazak coming back with another video. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Much love and respect to you brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth. Alright, as you see, I have what you call it, a poster, a picture of an 80s movie called Inner Space. Alright, and it came out back in 1987, and I was thinking today, while I was resting, about certain movies that have certain things about what the scriptures talk about, and this movie came back to my remembrance, my recollection, and I don't know if you brothers, maybe you older brothers that are out there, you know this movie, and actually this movie is referring and talking about the microchip, man, the RFID chip. It was produced by Steven Spielberg, and it's called Inner Space, and basically, when you watch the movie, man, you'll see how the movie has like Martin Short and Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid is the one that's injected into Martin Short's body through a syringe because these scientists were experimenting, and they wanted to micronize Dennis Quaid while he was in the ship to be injected into an animal. If they do in the labs, the experiments, which we know they've been doing that for decades, but now recently they're actually getting into microchipping human beings. So this movie back in the 80s was already showing us the microchip, man, but they just flip it and they show it to the people as a comedy, but really it's a serious thing. And we're living in the times where they're able to detect and manipulate people through the microchip and certain frequencies and things of that nature. So this movie back in 1987 was already showing you that they were gonna microchip the people. All right, and you brothers can watch this movie, man. It's called Inner Space. Right now it's on Netflix, and I believe it said that it won't be available. It'll be available until January 2018. So you need it, if you may have a couple of, not even a couple of weeks, maybe a few days left until they take it off Netflix. So if brothers want to check it out, you need to get on Netflix ASAP and watch this movie, because it's talking about the microchip, man, and how I'm not trying to spoil the movie or anything like that, but just for edification purposes, that when this man was injected with the syringe into this random guy, which is Martin Short is the one that played the man that was carrying the chip, which is Dennis Quaid in that spaceship. He was able to see through his eyes by activating certain things towards his eyeball, and he was able to see through, manipulate certain things. He would hear the thoughts and voices of Dennis Quaid and things of that nature, man. So it's plain, that this movie was already telling us about the microchip, but those that weren't in the knowing or awake at the time, they didn't know, So I'm gonna go ahead and bring out 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." So we're in 2017, and things are being opened and revealed unto those that are of the elect, and they are shedding that light and warning and sounding the trumpet to those that fear Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and that are able to acknowledge that we are living in the last days, and it's time to be sealed in our foreheads with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai under the brothers out on the highways and the byways, mainly great millstone, okay, who have the truth. And one other thing that I noticed when I was looking up these pictures of the Inner Space advertisement of the movie, and if you notice right here in this one that I got, we got the index and the thumb holding the chip, and it looks identical to the chip that we all know today as being as the size of a rice grain. And if you can tell when he's holding it, that's exactly what he's holding. It's the size of a rice grain. But what I also noticed, I saw it under the Spanish, the Spanish version, And this is what it says that it's entitled, you know, right there. You see the actors Dennis Quaid, Martin Short, Meg Ryan, Steven Spielberg presenta el chip progejicio. All right. So, right in this title, they're showing you that it's referring to a chip, man, a microchip. Okay. So, in the English, it says inner space, but here it's talking about the chip. All right. And the chip is being injected into this man you see in the center as Dennis Quaid, the guy that has a big smile. That's Dennis Quaid. Martin Short is the guy right next to him, So in the Spanish movie where they're speaking Spanish and things of that nature, it's entitled a chip, the chip. So when you watch it, you'll notice ASAP that it's referring to the microchip, man, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. So through the process of time, things are coming out to light. So we got those set upon housetops and reveal these things unto the people to make them know that these things have always been right in front of our face, man. And the sad thing about it is that, our children are going through certain things too right now as we speak. But those that have, it's a sad thing to those that don't know, but to us, we are revealing and opening the minds, the spirit of our children to these certain subliminal messages and things of that nature to make them wise to come up, Lord willing, in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Not like us when we were young, man. We were naive. We had that docile look in our face. We were as sheep led to the slaughter. We didn't know shit. But now that we were wise to the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we're able to see these things, man, and make a proper discernment. So they've been showing us since the 80s, man, that they're wanting to do these things. And we're now in 2017, and that's like 20 plus years since this movie, came out, 30 plus years, since that movie came out. And I just wanted to show you brothers that point. There was another scripture that I had lined up, but let me see. In Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, it says, "Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time." So he was already devising these devices to use against you people back in the 80s, man. All right, and now we're in 2017, and he's actually going forward with it, with the via microchip, man. RFID chip. Now he got your debit cards with the chip. You're having to insert your credit card or your debit card into the machine, where there's no more communication with the customer service directed towards another human being. It's all directed to a machine, and they're just getting you prepped and ready to receive this chip, man. All right, they're breaking you to not having proper social skills and things of that nature, man. Social media, everything is playing in a role into all this. So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, his mercy, that's the only way we're gonna be able to resist the hour of temptation, was gonna fall upon the whole earth, and that's gonna be the test of all men, their faith, and it's gonna be through that microchip, the RFID chip, which everybody knows is the mark of the beast. But we're here telling you that it's the microchip, man. All right, as you see right there, he's holding it, but they're just showing you how it's a man in a machine. So basically, that's what it is. Because when you take that chip, they're gonna be able to know where you're at all times. They're gonna know what you everything about you is gonna be on that chip, man. Everything. They're gonna be able to activate certain frequencies in there to control your emotions, to shut you down, to turn you back on, whatever it is. They're gonna do it, man. So it's man that's controlling you at that moment once you insert that chip. Okay, so I didn't really have too many scriptures. I guess I'll go ahead and bring out the one in Revelation chapter 13. Verse 16, "And he causeth all, both small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their foreheads." And that word mark, when you go into it, it goes back to the word charagma, which means to make an incision. All right, and it says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. That's right. So come soon, you're gonna have to take this chip mandatory. It's gonna be made mandatory for you to take this chip, and he's gonna cause all small and great to take this chip, man. And when you watch the movie, you're gonna see how Martin Short, the one that's inserted or injected with the chip, which Dennis Quaid in the ship plays as a microchip, is a docile, nerdy, goofy, individual. So that's a representation of the small, all right, the poor, the lowly, whatever you want to look, however you want to look at it, but it's representing the lowly, and like the scriptures say, the rich are also the great, so it don't matter. So it's going to be from the least to the greatest that's going to have to take this chip. It's going to be made mandatory. Okay. One other scripture I wanted to bring is Lord willing, this will link up with it. But yeah, brothers, y'all need to check this movie out. If you brothers have Netflix, check it out ASAP, man, because like I said, it's they're giving you I actually turned it on today just to refresh my memory, and I hadn't watched that movie since in the 80s, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a real long minute since the last time I watched this movie, and I actually used to like watching it, man. And now that I have understanding, it's like, wow, they were showing me the chip and what they're wanting to do in the near future. But like I said, you need to watch it quick, man, because on Netflix it's about to they're gonna take it off starting January, I believe the 1st of 2018. So I'm gonna bring out 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 7. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be therefore content. But they that be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the love of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So this microchip, once you're pierced with it, you're gonna be condemned. What's the word am I looking for? Indefinitely, with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, meaning there's no hope at that time. So you gotta hope and pray that you are part of the elect, and that you endure all these temptations, and you are able to cast off these temptations when it's needful, and because right now we're going through this crash course, and it's to build us up for the greater things that are to come.